The young comedian did his gig in one of the little tins that the Pleasance have. It went well, but when he came out, it was an absolute bloody nightmare, because everyone who'd ever been in the courtyard over the past 30 years had come back as a sort of a ghost. Everywhere that the young comedian looked, there was an apparition. There were ghosts everywhere. Millions of them. Even round his tin, there was a ghost of every son of a bitch who'd ever performed there. Flanagan, Milliken, Richardson, Hart, and all of their audiences too, covered in sweat, dying for a pint. And beyond, across the courtyard, carnage. Every man Jack who'd ever set foot in this magical place now brought back to life, even if they weren't even particularly dead. It's difficult to explain, but the idea is that they have to have died to be a ghost, like some people have been performing in like 1990 and now they're here again. So they might be still alive, but this is a ghost. So they might be getting up to their own stuff somewhere else, but these are ghosts of when they were there the first time. All floating about in a magical cloud of writhing bodies. The young comedian swigged his Red Bull and pinched himself to double check he wasn't dreaming. Ow! He was not. He pinched one of the nearby performers too to double check. It was an actor from the late 80s and his fingers went straight through. Ghost. Everywhere. Ghosts. And an atmosphere of pure joy. Millions of punters basked in the sun or sheltered from the rain, overlapping and interlinking and discussing the hilarious ventriloquist they'd just seen, or swearing about the undercooked gash they'd just sat through. By the sausage van, thousands and thousands of flyers talked animatedly about the next big thing, or else got off with each other, or drank Magners, or got bollocked for not flyering, because they're meant to be flyering. By the totem pole in the middle there, a man of various ages with a black dog chatted to a young Frank Skinner. An older Frank Skinner walked by, as did 20 technicians, each of them with utility belts, sorting stuff out, joking about the hours, because they do quite long hours. The young comedian drank it up. It was a nice thing to be a part of, actually. He thought about getting an ice cream, but there was a massive queue of ghosts, and also there was shitloads of ice cream on the floor where the ice cream had gone through the ghost's fingers, and by that I don't mean in between the fingers, just it had gone through, as in their fingers are air fingers, because they're ghosts. He spotted David Doherty across the courtyard and moved towards him to say hi, but then he wasn't sure whether it was the David Doherty from that year or whether it was a different David Doherty from before, who's the ghost who, like from years ago, because he wasn't sure how it worked, he didn't know how it worked. Confused but optimistic, he looked at the bar. The queue had died down as ghosts began to drift into shows or float off to the Pleasance Dome. The young comedian waded through to the front of the queue and drank an ice-cold pint. Gorgeous. He drank it right there and then, right in the thick of things. And then he wandered off to try and get in somewhere on his pass. There's a system here where if you have a pass, you can get in. Tim Vine, maybe. Or James Acaster. Alex Horne.